Hi boys and girls, it's Kenny the Vaping Heat back again with another review. So glad you could join us. I hope you're doing absolutely hunky-dory and you're having a fab day and all that la-di-da. Today we are going to be looking at a mod, the Aegis Legend. I almost bloody forgot what I was doing there. Yeah, it was the Aegis Legend. So we'll have a bit geek of this, have a bit look about. I've got a 30mm Atty on here, which is the Aromizer Plus RDA, just to show you that this thing can take up to a 30mm, no problems at all. Probably a bit tall like, but there you go. And I'm vaping on, if you bear with us, some delicious, yes, I'm back on the custards. We have some Butter Vapes traditional custard in this Aromizer Plus. It's kicking out 0.1 ohms, 104 volts. Very nice. But before we get a look at this, please like and subscribe to my channel. Much appreciated. Wouldn't do it all if it was for you guys. So without further ado, let's roll the B-roll. Yeah. Right folks, here we have it, the Geek Vape Aegis Legend mod in its box. On the front you have Aegis Legend mod, 200 watt, picture of the mod, the indestructible beast. On the side you've got the rear view of the mod, Facebook, social media. On the other side you've got the front view of the mod with the Instagram, social media. On the top's blank, on the bottom is also blank. On the back, whoops, upside down, how I can. You've got Aegis Legend, you've got a bit of information, and obviously the company contacts and all that stuff. It does state that it's IP6 water and dust resistant, high shock resistance, upgraded ES chip, fast and accurate, colour display screen, and it is a dual 18650. So, we'll pop the lid off. You're presented with the mod. I've got this nice azure blue one, very nice. Beautiful looking colour, isn't it? Nice that. Oh, in the box you get this box here. Not much really, because like I say, it's the mod only. You get, God, how where? Not coming now. Really? You get your micro USB cable and firmware upgrade, and in the box here also there is a spare dust cap for your USB. And there's 4 screws here for what looks to be like the case. Why you would need them, I do not know. Unless you can switch them over or something at some point, but you never know. Then we'll take the foam pad out, and underneath the foam pad you have a little envelope. Looks like an invitation to a party or something, doesn't it? But if you open that up, you're presented with some cards inside. This one here is basically just a product card. Turn over, gives you an idea of the colour. Colours are available. You have your warranty card, stroke pamphlet, and on this one you just have a basic warning card. So that aside there as well, and then you have the destruction manual, as I like to call it. Again, it's multilingual, obviously loads of languages. Inside you've got basically, you know, bit of product features and buttons, and in here you have some contents and some product parameters and resistance references. I mean, I can hold that there if you want to pause and zoom in, whatever, to read it to later on. But roughly you're looking at max power output of 200 watts. The material it's made from is aluminium, zinc alloy, and silicon. Physical dimensions: it's 30 millimeters wide, hence taking a 30 milli. 58.6 millimeters long and 90.3 meters tall. My colour's black. The resistance range right across the board is 0.05 ohms to 3 ohms. It's from 5 watts to 200 watts it fires. And your temp control goes from 100 degrees centigrade to 315 degrees centigrade. You can work that one out in Fahrenheit if you want to do that, but I'm not. But here's the star of the show, the Aegis Legend. On this side you have Aegis. Here, nice bit of leather, padded leather. It's very nice. That's comfortable, really comfortable. Blue stitching makes it look really nice. On this side you've got Geek Vape. The top, you've got your 510, which is sprung mounted, gold plated as usual. You've got your USB port, which is under this plug, obviously for waterproofing. The front, you've got your fire, your screen, your plus and negative button, you know, your up and downs. And on the bottom you have your door. Now, at the bottom of your door you've got some venting holes. Venting holes, I hear you ask, for being waterproof. Well, if we pop this open, which is on a spring, it pops open just nicely. I shall show you. Basically, you've got obviously your markers on your plate, your positive, your negative, but if you see these here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, and they're like a silicon, very thin silicon, I don't know, like a membrane. So basically what happens if your batteries vent, it'll pop them, and it will vent out of the vents. So there you have it. So while I've got this open, I'll put the batteries in. Obviously you've got your positive and negative there, and there is the red positive and the blue negative sign in the bottom. So we'll walk a couple of batteries in here. These are just the Samsung 25Rs. Must admit they are a little tight. They are snug fit in there. So if you rewrap your batteries and your wrap's a bit thicker, you know, they might be a bit tight. But while I've got this open, you see it's nice and deep. We've got obviously this part, the contact plate contacts with this pin here, so obviously making the circuit. You have lots of rubber in here to make it seal. You've got rubber on the hinge to make it seal, and you've actually got a rubber gasket round here to make it seal. This is all to seal it up to make it waterproof. So basically it is a little bit of an effort to get it to push down, but I kind of push it and then I push it back in manually like so, you know, I slot it back in myself, so that there's now nice and tight. So going to the front here, you have your screen, which is basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, brings her on, and there you have it. You now have the screen. I don't know if I can bring this up to show you a bit better. See, this thing's going to focus. There you go. But what you have on the screen is, hang on a minute, right there you go. You've got your power or your mode, your wattage, your battery indicator, your coil resistance, your volts pulled, your amps pulled. Hang on a minute. And your puff counter. Very simple. I'll tell you what, I'll put a tank on this just to stop the screen timing out. I'll put this fella on. Right, there you go. So, very simple menu. 1, 2, 3 clicks. And then you'll get that highlighted. So therefore you can actually scroll through your modes. So you've got to, hang on, 1, 2, 3. You've got power. You've got TCNI. You have TC stainless steel. You have TC titanium, you have your TCR, you have VPC, which is your variable power curves, if you're into that kind of thing. And you've got your bypass mode, and then you go back to power. While you're in power, if you press these two buttons together, you can change the colour of the screen. That goes like to a blue, press it again, that goes to a red, press it again, goes back to the default, which I prefer by a mile. But like I say, when you go back into your menu, your 1, 2, 3, if you hit your power button, you can scroll through. There's your coil, and there's your puff counter, and obviously you're changing with your plus and minus buttons. Back to the power. If you pull these two down, can lock it. There you go, there's a little lock coming there. These don't move, but you can still fire it. Like so. Press them again. Unlocks it. And there you go. If you hold your fire button and down, you get your brightness, which you can turn up and down. But anything, to be honest with you, below above 50%, I can't really see any difference. Yeah, that's basically it, folks. So, you know, not much else to tell. So with that in mind, I'll put that down. We'll go back up top, have a bit more talk about it, a little bit of a vape on it, and I'll tell you my thoughts. So, see you in a bit. Right folks, so here we are, back up top with the Geek Vape Aegis Legend. The first thing I'm going to come up with, right, loads of other reviewers just putting this through an absolute destruction test. I mean, they're chucking it out the windows, they're driving cars over it, they're chucking it into sink full of water and whatever, right? Even though after all the battering, there was bits falling off it, but generally it still worked. But the general, when they were doing the test and they were hitting the side, what it was doing was crushing the battery compartment. So the main issue was if you crushed it, you couldn't get your batteries back in. But generally it held up well. There were bits falling off it, and it still came on and fired up. So I suppose they're like extreme tests. But I mean, Geek Vape more or less say for the water resistance, it'll be okay in a metre of water for about 30 minutes. So, I don't know, if you're in the bath or something, having a vape, you drop it in the bath, you quickly scoop it out and wipe it down, it'll be fine. I think that's the kind of thing that you're aiming at for that, you know, just, you know, outside in the rain, if you have, you know, any kind of like, you know, minor water contamination, it'll survive, you know, just wipe it out to survive. As for the dropping 3 feet, well, that's again, it's like everything. If you drop it with your pocket or something, or you get the car and you drop it, or you knock it off the table, it'll be fine, you know. Most of the time it'll be fine, you know. But obviously with these guys doing the extreme tests of dropping off buildings, you know, bits flying off it, but it's still bloody work. 9 to 10 times it worked. But I'm not going to DR that, you know, it's real life, you know. If you knock it over, it's going to be fine. If you drop it in the bath or something, it's going to be fine, you know. It's not, you definitely need to go extreme. I mean, I would say this is definitely for the out and about. It's rugged. I mean, if you know, if you walk on building sites, or you're a driver, or you're out in a boot, you know, or you work in dusty environments, because it is dust proof as well. Or if you're just generally fucking clumsy, like I am at times, drop it, you know, it'll survive, you know. Yeah, you might damage your atty, but, you know, an atty's probably cheaper to replace than the mod. But I'm sitting with this Aromizer Plus on. It's a 30mm, and that is sitting there sweet as a nut. You know, it's probably a little bit tall for it, but I'm just showing as an example of what this thing can take. Incidentally, I am vaping, I'll let you know, the Butter Vapes Traditional Custard. Yes, I'm back on my custard again, loving it, and loving it in this. But generally it's a cracking mod. One thing I did forget to mention on the table is when you're up and down your voltage, it does round robin. It goes in 0.1 increments up to 100 watts. Over 100 watts, it's just the 1 watt increment. So I thought I'd get that one out of the way. But generally, this is absolutely rugged as out. It's a solid piece of kit. It feels solid, it feels comfortable. I like the shape of this button, the little ridge on this button. You know, when you wrap your finger around, your finger sits just nice on it. Or even for a thumb fire, you know, your thumb sits nice on it. You know, it's really comfortable. For a big-ish, bulky-ish mod, it's really ergonomic. You know, the soft padding sits nice in the palm if you want to fire that way, or you know, you can squeeze it there, and it's really comfortable. I've no issues with the battery door flying open. It's been solid and rugged. It performs, you know, really well, and I believe some of the other reviewers that have tested it, you know, they do the wattage test and all that, and it's catching up or it's on par with your IS and your DNAs. It is hitting 200 watts. It is hitting what it's saying. They reckon the temp controls maybe about 20 degrees or 20 to 30 degrees out. You know, if you want a 420 vape, like degrees Fahrenheit, you've maybe got to bump it up to 450 to go somewhere there. So, you know, the temp control, it's like most of the ones, you know, they haven't quite nailed the temp, but, you know, I'm not really a temp control user, you know, I'm mainly a wattage man. But it's really, really comfortable to hold with. That's really, really what I'm quite impressed with. You know, it's solid. It just feels solid. You you feel like, whoa, you could hit somebody with something. You know, it's solid looking, solid mod. The menu, the screen, it's clear as a bell. Daylight, dark. You know, it's a simple, basic layout. Which I think a few of the mods are now tend to go that way. You know, like instead of all the blingy crap and all that rubbish that's gone in the background, just a simple layout telling you what you need to know. Bob's your uncle. That's all you need. But yeah, it's absolutely tremendous, and I'm actually going to have a little bit of a puff, if you don't mind. Now I've got, like I say, this Romizer Plus sitting on it. I've got exactly 0.1 ohm coils in it, and I am vaping at about 104 watts, and it is absolutely divine. It's, you know, wow. Dear me, nice, isn't it? Oh, man, got a bit cloudy in here. But yeah, I do believe when you do the upgrade, the firmware upgrade, it can be a bit fiddly. What I found out, you've got to plug your USB in your computer, hold the positive button down, then plug your USB in. But beforehand, you've got to remove your tank and remove your batteries. I think it's just for your computer to communicate with the device, basically. And obviously, you just download your firmware, run it, and bang, it'll go in. But you know, there's a lot of likes about it. It's a really rugged thing. There's not really much I don't like about it. I mean, a niggly point with that battery door, it is tight, but I suppose it has to be for obviously sealing it for the waterproofness. Like I say, your batteries are a very, very snug fit. So if you do any rewraps and they're a bit thicker, you know, I don't know if you might be really more tighter. Battery life, I find if you're vaping under 100 watts, you get a reasonable or average amount of time out of your batteries like any other mod. But I think when you go over 100 watts, it plows through them. I mean, you know, I've only had a couple of chuffs. I don't really say that, but my batteries, you know, they're dying. You know, they've lost quite a bit. So I'm not 100% happy with the battery life. Maybe there is a firmware upgrade, because since I'm getting this, I've never upgraded the firmware yet. So that's something I'll look into. But the battery life is a bit poor. But bar that, it's an absolute gem. You know, it's really rugged. You know, it's your out and about mod. You can drop it and it's not gonna, nothing's gonna happen to it. Price wise, for the mod itself, I think you're looking at about, was it 40 quid? 39.99, something like that. You can get it in a kit form, and it comes with a GeekVape Aero tank on, which is a mesh coil. I never got that because, you know, I've got loads of tanks, so I don't really need another one yet. And I think that one goes for an extra tenner, which is about 59.99. So if you want the tank, well, definitely worth the extra tenner to get it. So yeah, that's basically what it is. But I see it comes in various colours and that, but it's a rugged, tough, out and about mod. If you want something to take to work, like I say, if you work outdoors, it's there. You know, be in a building site, drop in a puddle, pick it up, fine. Dusty environment, be fine. So yeah, nice one, GeekVape. So with that, I have been Kenny the Vaping Heat. Hope you enjoyed what you saw. Like I say, if you like what you saw, hit that like button. or even better again, subscribe. But for now, I'll leave it at that, and I shall say, you know, stay safe, vape safe, and I shall see you lot on the next review. Cheers. Bye.